respected principal, Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Janab S. Muhammad Yunus, Secretary, Farook Training College Management Committee, my beloved teacher, Dr.PP Noushad, Associate Professor, MG University, my dear colleagues and friends. As you know, we have gathered here in the official inaugural ceremony of one of our dream projects, Each One Teach One. As you all know, Farook Training College, one of the best teacher training institutes in Kerala, has always focused on non-academic and extensional activities in addition to its regular educational activities. Along with education, that is part of our regular curriculum to equip our students to excel in other competitive exams. The fact that 90% of our students will qualify NET, SET, and TET exams when they leave the college is an indication of the importance we place on such exams. This outstanding achievement of the students is the result of continuous training given during each examination under the supervision of our teachers or our expert faculties. Today, we are launching Each One Teach One project to redesign our competitive exam training program for the benefit of other students and to make the college a facilitation hub for such training and such exam with 7-day online orientations for UGC NET examination. The project is a part of FTC, as you know, Farook Training College Innovative Academia, which brings together all the non-academic, academic, and extensional activities of the college under one umbrella. We are happy to share that thousands of students have come forward to be the part of this event, but we are unfortunate only 250 students can participate in the live interactive session or using via Google Meet. For other students, we will telecast the classes through our YouTube channel Guru Darshan. I am very happy to welcome all of you to this proud moment. Dear friends, we have with us our secretary for the official inauguration of the project. May I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome on behalf of our training college to our beloved secretary to this event. Welcome, sir. And I extend a warm welcome to our principal, who is always active with his continuous and constant support for all of our activities being carried out during an academic year. Let me welcome our beloved principal to this event. And also we have with us our former faculty, Dr.PP Noushad, Associate Professor from MG University, who is going to give a general orientation regarding UGC. Teacher Dr.PP Noushad to this grand event. Welcome, sir. Finally, I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to all of you. And with these few words, let me conclude. May I invite our beloved principals to deliver principal address. Welcome, sir. Salim, sir, please.
Thank you very much, Naufal sir. Honorable Farook Training College Management Committee, Janab S. Muhammad Yunus sir, most respected faculty of today, Dr.PP Noushad, the coordinator of this program, Naufal, and channel Guru Darshan director, Abid sir, OCLP director, IQC coordinator Manoj sir, my beloved colleagues, my dear students. So it is a special day for us, September 5, Teachers' Day. On that right day, I think we are going to launch a new program as mentioned by our Naufal sir, the director of this finishing school. Actually, Farook Training College initiated this finishing school project in order to enhance the quality and to empower our students. Being a teacher trainee, or we are aiming to a better output as the result of our teacher education program. That is the main aim of this finishing school project. Actually, the concept we have initiated years back, and Manoj Praveen sir actually initiated this project. Under this finishing school project, we are initiating teach on each one. That means we are sharing the expertise of all to all. That is a togetherness and mutual sharing of information and knowledge to empower the each and every training. That is the motto of this program. And this special day, September 5, Teachers' Day, I wish all my students and co-workers a happy Teachers' Day. And our beloved faculty is here, Dr.PP Noushad, who is the former associate professor of Farook Training College, and presently he is working associate professor in MG University. And no need to introduce Dr. P.P. Noushad because committed teacher, expert and energetic resource person in the area of, especially in this competitive examination. And I'm so happy to be here with Dr. P.P. Noushad. This project is officially will inaugurate by our beloved secretary, yes, Muhammad Yunus sir. He's always with us, with providing all the support for the college, and is a very good academician at the same time is a very good businessman, and he always giving constant encouragement and support to all the programs that we are conducting here in our college. And our team, the teachers team in this college, I think as Naufal mentioned, when we announced this program, we got more than 1,000 registration. It was what I would say wonderful, thousands of registration. But being the limitations of this online platform, we are it is limited to 250. Now the channel Guru Darshan, our official YouTube channel, is providing live telecast of this program. It is controlled by channel director Abid sir. Even though it's a holiday, he is here with us in our college today for telecasting the event. And also the program is planned and executed by our own online collaborative platform, that is OCLP, Online Collaborative Learning Project, headed by Vijay Kumari Miss. And also it's a teamwork, and I am once again, I share the happiness with you, and I welcome and especially acknowledge the presence of our Honorable Secretary, Muhammad Yunus sir, and I wish you all the best for the program, and let me conclude. Thank you. Naufal sir, please unmute your mic. Okay.
Okay, with a deep sense of gratitude from the depth of my heart, may I call upon our beloved secretary, Janab S. Muhammad Yunus sir, to launch our dream project, Each One Teach One. Welcome, sir.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Ashrafil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Our beloved principal, Dr. Salim, and today's special guest, our former associate professor, Dr. Noushad Sahib, all our beloved faculties and students. A very happy and great Teachers' Day for you today. And it's a really happy day for the management of Farook Training College, that we are really proud that we have a very good team of principal and faculty working together for the betterment of our institution and for bettering the quality of the education that we are giving to our students. It has been always our endeavor as a management to give full freedom to the principal and faculty to bring out their creativeness for the betterment of the education. And I think, we promise that in future also, There will be always cooperation from the management side for this, for any project that the principal and faculty members put forward. This program under FTCA, Teach One, Each One, is a really novel program, not only for our institution, but also for the betterment of the society. So that means our Farook Training College, we are not focusing only on our students. We are focusing on students and of the society in general. So we are doing as a service to the society. Alhamdulillah, and now in this time, we are going through like the very trying times. We are going through, I think they're getting a call from outside. We are going through very difficult times during the pandemic. But Alhamdulillah, even during time, our teachers are focused on their job. They are focused on their job, and I think they are doing a very good job in this online. And also, I congratulate our principal, because since he took over as the principal in charge, and when he took over the principal in June this year, we could not start regular classes. But he has not given up, and instead of regular classes, you are all together, you are focusing on online classes and giving the best to our students. I thank you and I appreciate your endeavor in this attempt to give the maximum benefit to the students. Another thing what I would like to say is Teach One, Each One, I think it's a very good initiative, and I hope you will do better in future also. I thank you all for this and congratulate each and every one of you. And I'm really happy to inaugurate this function. May Allah open it, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for officially inaugurating our dream project.
Thank you.
Dear friends, with this, we have officially launched this dream project. We will be with you from this date itself. We expect your active support in the journey ahead. Let me invite Dr. Anis Muhammad to propose official vote of thanks and to introduce our speaker today. He is the Associate Director of Finishing School. Welcome, sir. Anis sir.
നമസ്കാരം. ഇവിടെ നമ്മുടെ ഈച്ച് വൺ എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പ്രൊജക്ടിന്റെ ലോഞ്ചിങ്ങും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ UGC നെറ്റിന്റെ ജനറേറ്ററിന്റെ കോച്ചിംഗ് ക്ലാസ് ഉദ്ഘാടനവുമാണ് ഞങ്ങളുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഫാറൂഖ് ട്രെയിനിങ് കോളേജ് മാനേജ്മെന്റ് കമ്മിറ്റി സെക്രട്ടറി മുഹമ്മദ് യൂനിസ് സാറ് ഇവിടെ നിർവഹിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞത്. ഈ ഉദ്ഘാടനത്തിന് സാക്ഷ്യം വഹിക്കുന്ന നമ്മള് ഈച്ച് വൺ ടീച്ചറിനെ കുറിച്ച് അറിഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ടാവും, ഇവരുടെ സംസാരത്തിൽ നിന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിട്ടുണ്ടാവും എന്ന് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കുന്നു. ഇവിടെ ക്ലാസ് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഒരു കുട്ടി ഈ ക്ലാസ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഈ ക്ലാസ് മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് കൊടുക്കാൻ നിങ്ങൾ സ്വയം പര്യാപ്തരായിട്ട് മാറണമെന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിയായ ആഗ്രഹമാണ്. ഈ ക്ലാസ് അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്ത ഒരാള് ഇനി ഇതേ സബ്ജക്ട് വേറെ ഏതെങ്കിലും PSCക്ക് വരുമ്പോഴോ വേറെ കോളേജിയേറ്റ് എക്സാമിനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ LDCക്കോ മറ്റോ വരുമ്പോഴോ ഇവിടെ ഒരാള് നമ്മുടെ പ്രസന്റ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. എന്റെ ഒരു റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ഉണ്ട്, ഇത് വീക്ഷിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ ആളുകളും നിങ്ങള് വീഡിയോ ഓഫ് ആക്കുകയും മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് നന്നായിരിക്കും. അവിടെ നിന്ന് കളിക്കുന്നതുകൊണ്ടാണ് പലപ്പോഴും പ്രസന്റേഷൻ വരുന്നുണ്ട് ചിലവർക്ക്. ഇവിടുത്തെ റിസോഴ്സ് ഉണ്ട്, നമ്മുടെ ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്ത ആളുകൾ, പ്രിൻസിപ്പൾ, അതുപോലെ മറ്റ് സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ആളുകൾ അവർ വീഡിയോ ഓൺ ആക്കിക്കോളും. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവരൊന്ന് ഓഫ് ആക്കുകയും മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യുകയും നന്നായിരിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, ഏതായാലും നമ്മുടെ പ്രൊജക്ടിന്റെ ഉദ്ഘാടനം ഇവിടെ നിർവഹിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. സോ ഇതിൽ ഭാഗഭാക്കായിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ ആളുകളും ഇവിടുന്ന് ഞങ്ങൾ മെറ്റീരിയലും ക്ലാസ്സുകളും ഒക്കെ നിങ്ങൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, മറ്റു ആളുകൾക്ക് കൈമാറാനും വിവരങ്ങൾ ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാനും നിങ്ങൾ താല്പര്യം കാണിക്കണം. അപ്പോഴാണ് ഈ പ്രൊജക്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വൻ വിജയമായിട്ട് മാറുന്നത്. ഈ ഉദ്ഘാടനത്തിന് ശേഷം നമുക്ക് ഇന്ന് UGCന്റെ ഒരു ജനറൽ ഓറിയന്റേഷൻ ആണ്. Dr.PP നൗഷാദ് ആണ് അത് നിർവഹിക്കുന്നത്. വളരെ ഗുണകരമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ക്ലാസ് ആണ്. അതെല്ലാവരും എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അറ്റൻഡ് ചെയ്യണം. അതിന് മുമ്പായിട്ട് റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുമ്പായിട്ട് ഞാൻ എന്റെ ചടങ്ങിലേക്ക് കിടക്കുകയാണ്. അതായത് ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ സന്നിഹിതരായിട്ടുള്ള എല്ലാ ആളുകൾക്കും നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. നമ്മുടെ സെക്രട്ടറിയാണ് ഇത് ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. സെക്രട്ടറി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഞങ്ങളെ കോളേജിന്റെ വികസനത്തിന് എപ്പോഴും ഒരു ഊർജമായിട്ട് നിൽക്കുകയും ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് മാർഗദർശിയായി ഞങ്ങളെ മുൻകയും ചെയ്യുന്ന വ്യക്തിത്വമാണ് അദ്ദേഹം. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ ഏത് മേഖലയിലും അദ്ദേഹം കയ്യൊപ്പ് ചാർത്തുന്നത് എവിടെയൊക്കെയാണോ അവിടെ എല്ലാം വൻ വിജയങ്ങളാണ് അദ്ദേഹം തീർത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ സെക്രട്ടറിഷിപ്പില് വരാനിരിക്കുന്ന നാക്കിൽ പോലും നല്ലൊരു ഉയർന്ന സ്കോർ ഞങ്ങൾ നേടാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു കാത്തിരിപ്പിലാണ് ഞങ്ങളുള്ളത്. ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ തന്റെ തിരക്കുകളെല്ലാം മാറ്റിവെച്ചിട്ടും ഈ പരിപാടി ഞങ്ങളുടെ എളിയ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ച് ഇവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേർന്ന ഞങ്ങളുടെ പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സെക്രട്ടറിക്ക് ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ ഞാൻ നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്താം. അതോടൊപ്പം ഈ പരിപാടിയിൽ ഇപ്പോഴും തുടർന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന നമ്മുടെ നൗഷാദ് സാറ് ക്ലാസ് എടുക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത് ഔപചാരികമായിട്ട് ഞാൻ നന്ദി അറിയിക്കുകയാണ്. പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽക്കും അതുപോലെ മറ്റ് അനധ്യാപകർക്കും ഇത് വീക്ഷിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ ചാനലിലൂടെ വീക്ഷിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാവർക്കും ഞാൻ ഔപചാരികതയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഞാൻ നന്ദി അറിയിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു സർ. ഇനി തുടർന്ന് നമ്മുടെ പ്രോഗ്രാമില് ഇനി അടുത്തത് ജനറൽ ഓറിയന്റേഷൻ ആണ് UGC നെറ്റിന്റെ. അത് ഇവിടെ നിർവഹിക്കുന്നത് ഞങ്ങളുടെ തന്നെ കോളേജിൽ 12 വർഷക്കാലം ടീച്ചറാണ് Dr.PP നൗഷാദാണ്. പൊതുവെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു പരിപാടിയിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങള് അവരുടെ ഒരു ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അവരോട് ഞങ്ങളൊരു ബയോഡേറ്റ ഒക്കെ വാങ്ങും, അതല്ലെങ്കിൽ നെറ്റിൽ നിന്ന് ഞങ്ങളൊരു ബയോഡേറ്റ ഒക്കെ എടുക്കും. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ അതിന്റെ ഒരു ആവശ്യമില്ല. കാരണം നൗഷാദ് സാർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരുപാട് കാലം ഞങ്ങളോടൊപ്പം നിൽക്കുകയും പോയതിനു ശേഷവും കോളേജിൽ ഏത് പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് എപ്പം വിളിക്കുന്ന സമയത്തും ഈ ക്ലാസ് ഏറ്റെടുത്ത് നടത്തുന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തിത്വമാണ്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിനെ കുറിച്ച് പറയാൻ ഇവിടെ നമുക്കൊരു പേപ്പറിന്റെയോ ഒന്നിന്റെയോ ഒന്നും ആവശ്യമില്ല. 2008 അദ്ദേഹം ഞങ്ങളുടെ കോളേജിൽ നിന്ന് MG യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിലേക്ക് പോകുന്നത്. MG യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസറായിട്ട് അദ്ദേഹം പോകുന്നത്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ 26ാമത്തെ വയസ്സിൽ അദ്ദേഹം ഫാറൂഖ് ട്രെയിനിങ് കോളേജിൽ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം HSA സോഷ്യൽ സയൻസിൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് റാങ്കുകാരനായിരുന്നു. അദ്ദേഹം തന്റെ 1ാമത്തെ PSCയിൽ തന്നെ ഫസ്റ്റ് റാങ്ക് ഹോൾഡർ ആയിരുന്നു. ഞങ്ങളെ ജേർണല് തുടക്കം മുതൽ അദ്ദേഹം പോകുന്നത് വരെയും ജേർണലിന്റെ എഡിറ്റർ അദ്ദേഹമായിരുന്നു. ഒരുപാട് മേഖലയിൽ ഇന്ന് അദ്ദേഹം കയ്യൊപ്പ് ചാർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അവിടെ തന്റെ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ MG യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റിയിൽ അദ്ദേഹം പബ്ലിഷിംഗിന്റെ ഡയറക്ടറാണ്, NSSന്റെ പ്രോഗ്രാം കോർഡിനേറ്റർ ആണ്, റിസർച്ച് അഡ്വൈസറി കമ്മിറ്റി മെമ്പറാണ്, പ്ലാനിംഗ് ബോർഡ് മെമ്പറാണ് തുടങ്ങി ഒരുപാട് മേഖലയിൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ കയ്യൊപ്പ് ചാർത്തിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അദ്ദേഹം MA ഇൻ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഇൻ സോഷ്യോളജി, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ഹിസ്റ്ററിയിലും, അതുപോലെ PhD ഇൻ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ആണ്. MAക്കും MEdനും അദ്ദേഹം ഫസ്റ്റ് റാങ്ക് ഹോൾഡർ ആണ് ഫ്രം യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി ഓഫ് കാലിക്കറ്റ്. 100ഓളം പേപ്പർ പ്രസന്റേഷൻ ഇൻ നാഷണൽ ആൻഡ് ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ സെമിനാർസ്, അതുപോലെ 50ഓളം റെപ്യൂട്ടഡ് ജേർണൽസ്. ഒരുപാട് കേരളത്തിനകത്തും പുറത്തും ഒരുപാട് വേദികളിൽ റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ ആയിട്ട് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഞാൻ പറയാറുണ്ട് എപ്പോഴും ഈസ് എ റിയൽ റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ. ഹൈലി റിസോഴ്സ്ഫുൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ ആണ് അദ്ദേഹം എന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയാറുണ്ട്. ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ പറയാനുള്ള കാരണം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വിവരങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് ഉണ്ടാവുക എന്നുള്ളതല്ല, മറിച്ച് ആ അറിവുകളെ ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാൻ മനസ്സ് കാണിക്കുന്ന ഒരാളാണ് യഥാർത്ഥ റിസോഴ്സ് പേഴ്സൺ. തന്റെ അറിവുകൾ മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് പകർന്നു കൊടുക്കാൻ ഭയങ്കര താല്പര്യം കാണിക്കുന്ന വ്യക്തിത്വമാണ് Dr.PP നൗഷാദ് സാർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഞാൻ ഈ ജനറൽ ഓറിയന്റേഷന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ് ഞാൻ സർ Dr.PP നൗഷാദ് സാർ.
Good morning all. എന്റെ വോയിസ് കേൾക്കാമോ സലീം സാർ, അനീസ് സാർ?
വോയിസ് കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ട് സാർ. ഓക്കെ ആണ്?
ക്ലിയർ ആണ്. ഓക്കെ,
ശരി. മോസ്റ്റ് റെസ്പെക്റ്റഡ് പ്രിൻസിപ്പൽ ഓഫ് ഫറൂഖ് ട്രെയിനിങ് കോളേജ് Dr. T. Mohammed Salim, my colleagues Dr. Anis, Mr. Naufal, and senior most faculty members of Farook Training College, Dr. N.S. Mundas, Dr. Vijay Kumari, Dr. Jessa, and other all my colleagues, dear students and friends. I'm very happy to be in front of you, even though this is an online platform for learning. Whenever I get a chance to interact with the students of Farook Training College. And also I know that in this platform there are students from different institutions. I'm very much happy. I thank all my colleagues for inviting me to this program. As you all know, NET examination is one among the prestigious and largest criterion examinations in the country. And National Testing Agency is conducting this NET examinations twice in a year. Normally in the month of June and December, but because of this pandemic condition, this year's June examination has extended to September. And we are 10 or 15 days behind the scheduled NET examination of this month. I don't want to elaborate the preliminary aspects. You are all familiar with the nature and conduct of NET examinations. And I am requested to give you a brief orientation to the NET examination, especially for the general paper. We know NET examination consists of two papers. One is the general paper, which is common to all the subjects of humanities, and the other is your post-graduation subject or allied subjects. And let me start with my presentation using a PPT. Hope you can see my presentation. Can you see my presentation? Okay. So as I already mentioned, NET examination is the highest and largest criterion examination in the country, which is considered as a stepping stone to teaching and research in higher education. We know there are two major functions of a teacher in higher education. One is teaching and the other is research. And the general paper of NET examination, the name itself is that teaching and research aptitude. The name of the paper itself is teaching and research aptitude. And the questions asked in the paper, the syllabus prepared for this particular paper is centered around the two basic concepts, teaching and research. In humanities, there are 81 subjects and 263 examination centers. I think I don't want to elaborate all these things because these are familiar things to you. And there are 81 subjects, and your subjects will be one among these 81. And NET examination need not be your own subject, but in allied subjects also you can appear for the NET examination. And 3 years back, Government of India has established a testing agency, namely National Testing Agency, and this agency is conducting NET examination, and it is conducted twice every year. I already mentioned the thing, and we need to apply online. That online is already covered. And for basic eligibility of this NET examination, there are distractions. Please mute your mic as well as you switch off your videos so that you will get quality audio and video. And the 55% mark in post-graduation or equivalent grade is the basic eligibility for appearing NET examination. And there are relaxation of 5% for OBC, SC, ST, and the person with disabilities. And I think some of the students now hearing my voice maybe from PG final appearing candidates, they can also appear for the examination, but only one condition: they must complete their post-graduation within 2 years from the date of result of that particular NET examination. That's the only condition. Normally, post-graduation or during post-graduation is the better time for appearing NET examination, because you are having a close contact with all the subjects of your post-graduation. That will be better. So the period during the post-graduation will be better for appearing NET examination. And the scheme of examination, this is also familiar to you. Let me make it fast. The paper 1 consists of 50 multiple choice questions, and the name of the paper is Teaching and Research Aptitude. I told you that the major function of a teacher in higher education is teaching and research, and hence this paper is centered around 2 basic concepts: teaching and research aptitude, which consists of 50 multiple choice questions for 100 marks. It means that each questions carry 2 marks, so that there will be total 100 marks for paper 1. And paper 2 is your subject of post-graduation with 100 multiple choice questions for 200 marks. It means that here also one question carries 2 marks. The total will be 200. And the aggregate will be 300. And there are 2 sessions of examination, but there are cumulative time also. The cumulative time of 3 hours will be given. And in the last NET examination, we were having 2 sessions in a day, morning session and evening session. And aggregate will be 3 hours together for paper 1 and paper 2. And 50 questions, 100 marks for paper 1, and 100 questions for 200 marks for paper 2. And the total for 300 marks, 150 questions and 3 hours. This is the basic structure scheme of examination. And this is one confusing fact regarding the NET examination. That is the minimum marks for qualifying. And UGC specify a minimum mark for qualifying, but it doesn't guarantee. If you score a minimum mark, for example, general candidates 120 out of 300, it is paper 1 and paper 2 taken together is the minimum mark, but it is not a guarantee to qualify with 120 marks. And based on the number of students qualify the basic qualification mark, UGC will increase the cutoff. And for SC, ST and OBC candidates, it is 105, that is 35%. And after the minimum qualifying mark, then the number of candidates to be qualified shall be 6% of the candidates appeared in both papers. And there will be separate slot for reservation and subjects. Actually, this 6% is separately for different reservation categories as well as for different subject categories. So only the upper 6% of the candidates who scored the minimum percentage stipulated for their category will be qualified for NET or assistant professorship. And further, for junior research fellowship, the 10%, normally 10% of the total qualified candidates, total qualified 6%. Suppose in a subject, there are 1,000 candidates appeared for the examination. Out of these 1,000, 6%, upper 6% will be 60 students. And from these 60 students, the top 10%, that is 6 students from the top 60% will be qualified for junior research fellowship. That is the highest award in this NET examination. And as you know, the testing mode is online, and there are different sessions for examination. For example, this year, I think there are 4 days allotted for the examination. And in these 4 days, there will be 8 sessions. So in these 8 sessions, there will be 8 different question papers. And some slot of question paper may be easier and some other may be difficult. but there is a normalization procedure to equate the different difficulty levels of the examinations. So don't worry, some examination may be, some session of examination may be difficult, some may be easier. Don't think that those who appeared in the easier examination will qualify and difficult examination will not qualify. Don't think like that, because there is a normalization procedure, and considering the mean and standard deviation, every score will be converted into standard score, and there will be a normalization procedure finally, and based on that your final mark will be decided. And there is a transparent mechanism. After the examination, there is a chance for your complaints, and again the answer key will be published. After that, there is a chance for complaints, and then the final answer key will be published. Then only the result is publishing every year. So this is a transparent mechanism, and one major thing to be noted, that there will be no negative marking in the net examination. Net examination, since it is a criterion examination, the major intention of the net examination to ensure the minimum quality, and the intention is not to rank the students. There is no ranking in net examination. If you qualify the minimum mark, you will get the certificate. That's why normally in such an examination there is no negative marking. Hence here also there is no negative marking for net examination. And let me come to the syllabus of paper 1. And the first element of the syllabus is teaching aptitude. And there are 10 elements, 10 components in the general paper. And out of these 10 general, the first one is teaching aptitude. And there are two types of questions asked in the teaching aptitude. And one type of question is direct theoretical questions, which is related to the basic theoretical aspects of teaching methodology and pedagogic aspects. And the other part is situational type questions, and these are also commonly known as common sense type of questions. What a teacher will do in a specific situation. Such type of questions are also asked in the component teaching aptitude. I'll give you sample questions later after introducing the syllabus. And the second component is research aptitude. Research aptitude is also, I told you that teaching and research are the two major functions of a teacher. And in the research aptitude, normally we need to have a thorough understanding of the research methodology in social sciences or humanities, so that you can answer the questions in the research aptitude. And the third part is communication. Communication is an essential quality of a teacher, and communication in the classroom as well as mass communication. There are two areas in the syllabus. One is classroom communication and another one is mass communication. In the case of classroom communication, it is actually the part of teaching learning process. And in the case of mass communication, nowadays, mass communication is also part of teaching learning process. We know that now we are also in an online mode. This is a type of communication, and this has some peculiarities. And there are questions asked from classroom communication as well as mass communication. And the fourth component of paper 1 is logical reasoning. Normally, logical reasoning, mathematical reasoning, and data interpretation. These are three major areas which feel difficulty for students from humanities. Because after 10th standards, normally the students from humanities never go for mathematical or quantitative type of analysis. But in this paper, there are logical reasoning, mathematical reasoning, and data interpretation. These three are actually related with mathematics, logics, and so on. But it requires continuous preparation, thorough practice for cracking questions from logical reasoning, mathematical reasoning, and data interpretation. I'll give you sample questions later. Then reading comprehension is other part. Reading comprehension, you will get a paragraph from a known writer or from a known book, and there will be 5, 6, or 4, 5 questions from this paragraph, and after reading 2, 3 times, you can answer the questions. It's reading comprehension. Conventionally from school standard onwards, we solved a number of reading comprehension items, but for solving reading comprehension, we need to have a minimum level of English language skills to comprehend the meaning of the paragraph given. And the 8th component is people, earth, and environment. This is simply, we can say that this is environmental education. For our graduate programs, we have a separate environmental education module for every student. And if you go through that particular module itself, you can answer the question from people and environment part. And nowadays, environmental education is a core learning part in almost all courses. And this is very essential part. Then the next part is higher education, quality and governance, policy and administration. And this is also a new area introduced in the NET examination from 2012 onwards. Higher education, then the polity and governance. Actually, this area consists of 2 major parts. One is the higher education system in India, and the other is the governance and polity in India, mainly based on Indian constitution. There are questions based on Indian constitution in this area. So higher education and polity, we can summarize the name as higher education and polity and governance in India. And we know that in 2020, we have a new education policy. There are chances of questions even from the new education policy from this area. And the 10th component is information and communication technology. Information and communication technology is an essential component of pedagogical science nowadays, because without ICT or without a basic knowledge in information and communication technology, you cannot sustain as a teacher nowadays. So this is simply the syllabus of NET examination. There are 10 areas, and there will be 50 questions in the 10 areas. So we can expect 5 questions from each area. Teaching aptitude, research aptitude, communication, from every area, you can expect 5 questions each. And let's go through the some of the sample questions here. The first is teaching aptitude. So this is a sample question. Which statement from the following does not suit a teacher? I told you that there are 2 types of question in the teaching aptitude. This is a common type question. See, which statement from the following does not suit a teacher? And be very careful while reading questions, because does not suit a teacher, not suit a teacher. See, does not is to be carefully read. See, really interested in students, able to direct and discipline students, reluctant to adapt with the changing situations, enthusiastic about the profession. These are the 4 choices. Normally, because of the hurry in the examination, students read only the last part of the question, suit a teacher. And the first answer is really interested in students. So everyone answer the question yeah. But here it is does not suit a teacher. So you need to check the negative part. See, really interested in student is a quality of a teacher, which is suitable to a teacher. Able to direct and discipline student is another quality of a teacher. See, the third one, reluctant to adapt with the changing situations. That's not a quality of a teacher. So that will be the answer. So be very careful in reading such type of questions, because question statement is a negative statement. So the answer will also be a negative one. Be careful. So this is a situational type of question which there is no need of a thorough theoretical understanding of teaching learning process, which require only common sense. And the second question, see, this is also from teaching aptitude, but this require actually a type of somewhat theoretical understanding of the teaching learning process. Which of the following provides more interaction between the learners? See, small group discussion, you can answer this question actually using common sense, but it has some theoretical underpinnings. Small group discussion, so there are a number of small group discussion procedures in our classrooms, such as debates, then cooperative learning, and so on. And the use of film projector, actually if you use a projector, it will increase the teacher people communication. And there are three types of communication in the classroom. One is teacher people communication, another one is pupil teacher communication, and the third one is people communication. Actually in this question, people communication is highlighted. Which of the following provides more interaction between the learners? That is actually people interaction. And lecture by experts can enhance teacher people interaction, or viewing countrywide classroom in a television also can enhance teacher people interaction. Only small group discussion can increase interaction among learners or people interaction. So this is a type of theoretical question which requires somewhat knowledge in teaching methodology. And these are type of questions asked in the teaching aptitude. And the recent trend in the NET examination, if you go through the last 2-3 years NET examination, more questions are asked from the theoretical aspects rather than from the situational type of questions. So you need to go through the basic aspects of teaching learning process. Those who completed B.Ed program, and this area will be easy. And another question, this is a question from research aptitude. A lack of consistency in research findings amounts to. This is a question from research aptitude. See, all the choices are confusing. Lack of consistency in research findings amounts to a lack of reliability, a lack of validity, lack of reliability and validity, a lack of sensitivity. So consistency itself means it is if you use the same tool, same measure for different situations, you will get the same result. This is simply consistency. Consistency or reliability, it is also known as reliability. Reliability is one among the most important quality of a research procedure. But reliability and validity are complementary to each other. Hence, if you lose reliability, you will lose validity. So the answer is lack of reliability and validity. I don't want to explain the basic features of research and characteristics of research, and you will get a detailed class on this aspect of research methodology later. But this is only a sample question. See another question. Natural sequence of scientific inquiry. All these are questions are asked in the previous examination, previous NET examination. I took these questions from the previous question papers. See, the natural sequence of scientific inquiry. Which is the natural sequence of scientific inquiry? And there are 4 major steps given, and it is given in different order in different options. See, the third option, observation. Normally, a researcher to continuous observation identify a problem, and later he establish a hypothesis, and he go for data collection and experimentation, and finally he arrive at a theory. This is normally a procedure in scientific research: observation, hypothesis, experimentation, and theory. This is the natural sequence. The other choices are given in different orders, but the better order is the third one, C: observation, hypothesis, experimentation, and theory. And the third area is communication. This is a sample question from communication. Which of the following will facilitate communication most? If you go through these choices, you will feel that every options are correct. See, the first option, teacher should make good use of blackboard. And actually, this is essential for better communication. Make good use of blackboard. The second option, teacher should speak clearly and loudly. This is also another thing. For making your communication effective, teacher's voice must be loud and clear. And third option, teacher should not allow his student to make noise in the classroom. Teacher should not allow his students to make noise in the classroom. And we know that noise and sound are different in communication. Noise are unwanted interference in the communication. If there are unwanted interference in the communication, communication may not be successful. So the third one, teacher should not allow his students to make noise in the classroom. That is also a right answer. And see the last answer, teacher should explain the difficult aspects in lucid terms. Lucid terms means simple terms. Teacher should explain the difficult aspects in lucid terms. See this question, every answer seems right. So which one will be the correct answer? Normally in the net examination, even in the direction, the most appropriate answer should be selected. Most appropriate answer. It doesn't mean that the other answers are wrong. So here the appropriate answer will be an all-inclusive one. So you use blackboard, use your sound and clarity, then reduce noise in the classroom. All these are doing for making or explaining a difficult aspect in lucid terms. So see, the fourth one is an all-inclusive answer. So you search for all-inclusive answer in such type of question. Teacher should explain the difficult aspects in lucid terms. Please switch off your mic once again. Please mute your mic.
നൗഷാദ് സാർ, ഞാനൊന്ന് പറയട്ടെ. ആസാദ് സാർ ഒന്നും മൈക്ക് മ്യൂട്ട് ചെയ്യണം. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ അരുൺ പ്രകാശ് സാർ, സാറിന്റെ വീഡിയോ ഓൺ ആണ്, അതൊന്ന് ഓഫാക്കിയാൽ നന്നായിരുന്നു സാർ. വീഡിയോ ഒന്ന് ഓഫാക്കി. നൗഷാദ് സാർ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്തോളൂ.
Okay, thank you, Anis. Teacher should explain the difficult aspect in lucid term. This is an all-inclusive answer. So when there are answers, every if you feel that every choices are answers, right answers, you search for an all-inclusive answer. That will be the most appropriate answer. Here, this is the context. And another question, this question is also from communication. Test of effectiveness of communication is, see, the pacing and toning of words used, use of appropriate media, receptive as intended by the sender, and speed in receiving. And using which criterion will you test the effectiveness of communication? And we can test the effectiveness of the communication only with whether the senders received the message as intended by the receivers received the message as intended by the sender. That's the most, and that is the matter in testing effectiveness of communication. Here, the third one is the right answer. Pacing and toning of words used, of course, that is required for better communication, and use of appropriate media and speed in receiving, everything is required. But for testing the effectiveness, we need to test whether it is received as intended by the sender, whether the receivers and received as intended by the sender. So this is the answer. C is the answer here. And because of this online platform, it is difficult to give you the question. And actually, this can be done using interactive mode. Because of this online limitation of this online platform, I am reading the question, I myself answering the question. Sorry for the difficulties, because this is the limitation of our online platforms. Then next is, see, this is a question from logical reasoning. And normally students feel difficulty in this logical reasoning. And from logical reasoning, you can have a different types of question. And this is known as syllogism type questions, syllogism. And there are blood relation questions, there are calendar questions, and different variety of questions are asked from this logical reasoning. And this is one sample item from logical reasoning. This is known as syllogism. And syllogism is, see, this is, if we require both the inductive and deductive reasoning for answering the questions from syllogism. See, statements, all bats are balls. All bats are ball, no ball is wicket. See, all bats are ball. All bats are ball, no ball is wicket. So here it simply means that normally these type of questions are asked using Venn diagram. If you draw diagrams, all bats are balls, and bats will be the inner diagram and balls will be the outer diagram, outer circle. Bats will be the inner circle and balls will be the outer circle. So bat will be the part of balls. That is, all bats are balls. And no ball is wicket. Wicket is something different from balls and bats. Bat is not wicket and ball is not wicket. So the inference one is correct actually. No bat is wicket. When no ball is wicket, no bat is also wicket. That's the reasoning here. And all wickets are bat is wrong. So the first one is the correct. Inference one is correct and inference two is incorrect. See, in the choice, inference one is correct is given. So that is the right answer. Inference two is correct, it is also wrong. 1 and 2 are correct, it is also wrong. 1 and 2 are incorrect, that is also wrong. So here, inference one is correct. And for answering logical reasoning questions, we require continuous practice of different types of questions. And we actually in the UGC website, there are number of previous year's question papers available. You just go through it, identify the logical reasoning questions and work out it. Work out all the questions. And questions from 2006 onwards available in the UGC website. So there are 14-15 years question paper. It means there are approximately 30 question papers available. That itself consists of 150 questions. So if you go through all the question itself, that will be a better practice for appearing at examination. And this is a question from mathematical reasoning. And see the question. If 45 into 37 is equal to 47, 57 into 64 is equal to 58, and 94 into 27 is equal to 46, what is 84 into 36? So for answering mathematical reasoning questions, actually we require only the understanding of basic mathematical operations. See, basic mathematical operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and in addition to that, you can have how to calculate the squares and square roots. Then you can answer all the questions actually. No much mathematical operations required for answering questions from mathematical reasoning. But along with that, you need to utilize your logic. Here, see, 45 into 37, how 45 into 37 becomes 47? See, the logic behind it here, it is that 4 into 3 is equal to 12, 5 into 7 is equal to 35, 12 plus 35 is equal to 47. That is actually the reasoning behind here. Actually, we require only addition and multiplication here, but a reasoning also behind it. Then 57 into 64, 5 into 6 is equal to 30, 7 into 4 is equal to 28. So 30 plus 28 is 58. Then 94 into 27, 9 into 2 is 18, 4 into 7 is 28, 18 plus 28 is equal to 46. Then normally the answer is 8 into 3 is 24, 4 into 6, 24, 24 plus 24 is 48. B is the correct answer. 48 is the correct answer. Hope you understand the reasoning behind it. This type of mathematical reasoning questions are asked. And there are different types of mathematical reasoning. There are series questions. And such type, if you go through the previous question papers, you will find different types of mathematical reasoning questions. And for answering mathematical reasoning questions also, you require continuous practice. And this is another question. Which one of the following places do not come in the same time zone? This is a question from people and environment. See, this is a question from time zones in world. There are different time zones. We know that the Greenwich Mean Time, GMT, is considered as the standard time used everywhere to calculate the time zone of our country. Our country's Indian Standard Time, IST, is GMT plus 5.5 hours. If Greenwich Mean Time is 12 noon, Indian Standard Time will be 5:30 evening. So this is the calculation of times in every nations. So there are countries in the same time zones and countries in the different time zones. And most of our relatives, friends are they are working in Gulf countries. We know that there are 2 hours, 3 hours difference between Gulf countries and India because of the different time zones. Here the question is, there are 4 places given, out of which one place do not come in the same time zone. So 3 others are in the same time zone. One is odd one out, which is odd one, which is not coming the same time zone. Actually, Greenwich Mean Time is the time in the London or England. And if you go through the map, Lisbon is the capital of Portugal. Portugal is also coming in the same time zone, that is Greenwich Mean Time. And Ghana is a country in Africa. This is also in the same time zone. So London, Lisbon, and Ghana are in the same time zone, but Ethiopia is in the different part of Africa. That is why Ethiopia is in a different time zone. So the time in London, Lisbon, and Ghana are same, while Ethiopia is different. So this is a question asked in the environmental education or people and environment, and you should have thorough understanding of the different countries, different continents, different oceans, and so on. The basic aspects of globe, the entire globe, the topography, the geography of globe, the mountains, the rivers, the major rivers in the world, the major mountains in the world, major volcanoes in the world, and so on. Even questions are asked from the recent winds, then cyclones, rainfalls, and because there are different names given for different winds and cyclones everywhere, and questions are asked even from the recent environmental phenomenon. So be very careful on that area. And actually, these are general knowledge type of questions. And this is another question asked in the environmental education. El Nino is an ocean current, a wind, a volcano, a rain. El Nino is actually an ocean current. It is a warm ocean current emerging from the Latin American coast, and it ends in the coast of Philippines. This is a famous ocean current which creates a number of climatic change in the world. And every year there are reports on El Nino ocean current. It creates wind, volcanoes, even heavy rainfalls. El Nino is a phenomenon. It's actually an ocean current. This is also a question from environmental education. And another question is a question from higher education. Which of the following is not a central university? In India, there are different types of universities. As we know that there are central universities, there are state universities, there are private universities, there are deemed universities and autonomous colleges, affiliated colleges. There are different types of higher education institutions. And here the question is, which of the following is not a central university? We know that central universities, there are approximately 50 central universities in India, and out of which Delhi is a central university, Delhi University is a central university, then Pondicherry University is a central university, Jawaharlal Nehru University is a central university, and University of Kolkata. And this is the first university in India established in 1858. And from the time immemorial, it is a provincial university. After independence, it became a state university under West Bengal. So University of Kolkata is a state university, and other 3 are central universities. So here the answer is University of Kolkata. And a question from this higher education consists of actually the basic data regarding higher education system in India. Actually, there are questions from history of higher education from British period to the present, and there are questions from different educational reports and policies. There are questions from types of universities and colleges in India, and even there are questions from the personals, officials regarding the higher education system in India, even the official personals in UGC, who is the current chairman of University Grants Commission. I think you are familiar with the person, DP Singh. Professor DP Singh is the current chairman of University Grants Commission, and such type of latest who is who regarding higher education is also asked in the area of higher education. And along with that, there are questions from Indian Constitution. I told you that there are questions from polity and administration, Indian Constitution, even about the fundamental rights, directive principles, fundamental duties, and so on. There are different types of questions from Indian constitutions are also asked in the area higher education. And this is another question from higher education. The headquarters of NAC is situated at. We know that NAC is an accreditation, supreme accreditation body in India under the aegis of UGC, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, is situated at. And when this question asked in the previous NET examination, and most of the students answered the choice Delhi as the headquarters. Actually, the headquarters of NAC is situated at Bangalore, not in Delhi or Mumbai. It is at Bangalore. That's why the question is asked. See, the headquarters of NAC is situated at Bangalore. Then question 13 is a question from Information and Communication Technology, that is ASCII. ASCII stands for, this is a basic question. It is familiar to all. Normally, ICT is, a question from ICT is basic questions. It is regarding the basics of computer, basics of internet and emailing, and there are questions from application softwares and programming softwares and so on. See, ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. And option C is the right answer. I think there is no need of further discussion on this because these are basic facts on ICT. The questions from basic facts. And there is another question from ICT, which of the following is an operating system? And we know that operating system is the platform in which a computer works. Here, Windows is a platform. Windows is an operating system. We know that there are different operating system, Linux operating system, and different other operating systems are available. But MS Word, Java, Visual Basic, all these are application or programming softwares. Only Windows is an operating system here. So the Windows is the correct answer here. And see, it is difficult to give you a sample question for reading comprehension here, because reading comprehension is a 2-3 paragraph will be given, and you are required to answer 4-5 questions from the paragraph. Normally, in different set of question papers, the reading comprehension will be given in different numbers. See, in some question papers, some set of question paper codes, reading comprehension will be given even at the beginning. Maybe first question will be reading comprehension. And my suggestion is that if you get reading comprehension as the first question, you try to attend it at the end of the examination, because this is an online test and you can start from 50 to 0, or you can start from the middle. Everywhere you can start. So if in your question paper, because question paper series will be different for different students, and if the first part itself is reading comprehension, you try to attend the reading comprehension part at the end of the examination, because reading comprehension required a relaxed atmosphere for comprehending the English paragraphs. So you need to read at least 2-3 times, a careful reading, and a free and relaxed mind is required. At the beginning, you will be in somewhat anxiety and tension, so that you try to avoid attending comprehension question at the beginning. You try to attend at the end of the session. So there will be a paragraph of 5 questions, and read carefully 2-3 times and answer the items only at the end. This is the suggestion for writing reading comprehension items. And data interpretation also, there are tables are given, or graphs will be given, or diagrams will be given. There are different types of diagrams you can expect: pie diagrams, bar diagrams, line graph, everything you can expect, and you need to interpret it. For answering data interpretation, we need to understand 2-3 mathematical operations. The first thing is to calculate how to calculate average. Actually, we learned how to calculate average in the school classes. Even from the primary classes, we calculated average. Average is a basic operation required for data interpretation. Then another is percentage calculation. Percentage calculation and average calculation you need to answer. for the question from data interpretation. And this is actually the different set of types of questions asked in the examination. And I'll give you one time management also. For answering question from logical reasoning, mathematical reasoning, data interpretation, and reading comprehension, we require more time. But for answering teaching aptitude, research aptitude, communication, higher education, ICT, and environmental education or people and environment, those 6 areas, we require less time. So you allot time for each area. And my suggestion is that you need to allot 10 minutes each. That is 2 minutes each for questions from data interpretation, reading comprehension, mathematical reasoning, and logical reasoning. So the total time will be 40 minutes. And the remaining 20 minutes you can spend for other areas. That will be the better time management for answering the questions. And this is a basic idea of the paper 1 of the NET examination. And this is a sample question from data interpretation. I don't want to elaborate here. Actually, we need to calculate the average to answer the question. And at the end of my presentation, as a motivational factor, let me give you the pay scale of the higher education personnel. If you qualify NET examination, you'll be placed as assistant professors in different universities and colleges, and the current pay scale of teachers at higher education is par with the civil servants of or A class 1 servants of India government, and its basic pay is 57,700, and including the other allowances, it will be the gross pay will be 70,000. See, the assistant professor grade 2 is the next promotion stage. Assistant professor 3 is the next promotion, and associate professor, you will get an attractive salary at the associate professor level. The gross pay is 1,55,000 as per the revised pay scale, and for professor it is approximately 1,80,000. And after 10 years of professorship, you will be designated as senior professor, and your salary will be similar to a salary of a vice chancellor. That is approximately 2,25,000 rupees. So that much high pay is giving for teachers at higher education, and the main intention of government to give a very high salary to the teachers of higher education is to attract the better talents to higher education institutions. And NET examination is the first stepping stone for students to attract towards the higher education institutions. So, and the next reason for high pay is that after a longer period of academic learning time, you are getting a job in a college or a university. Even for civil service, we require a basic graduation as the qualification. But for getting a job in college or a university, you require a post-graduation with a minimum mark and a national-wide eligibility test is to be qualified. Then only you will be placed in an higher education institution. So for longer duration of academic career is required for getting placed as an assistant professor in a college or a university. So this is the most attractive part of the job at higher education institution. And let me, at the end of the presentation, let me give you the basic mode of your NTA NET examination. See, you will get this is actually a demo. It is given in the NTA website, and at the above there will be your name will be given, then the subject of the paper, then login, your username and password will be given. Then you can log in using the username and password. Then you can go through the instructions. Then this will be the attending how to attend the answers. See the questions number 1. If you click in the question number 1, you'll get the question and you can mark the answer. I'll show you the questions. This will be the questions. See, and there will be radio button 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can mark the answer and you can proceed to the next using save and next button or save and mark for review button. And you can also change your response using clear response button. and so on. So this is very adaptive mode. It is easier than the paper pencil mode because it is easy to change your answer and it is easy to mark your answer. That is the adaptability of the online mode, and that's all about the presentation. This is actually a basic orientation for the NET examination, and I have given you the syllabus, the model questions, and the nature of examination. Hope you have a thorough understanding about the nature and basic orientation. And with this, let me conclude a presentation on NET examination. Thank you. Thank you all. And now this is the time for your doubts and clarification. And I'll share the presentation to the organizers so that they can upload to the Moodle website of the training college.
Sure, sir. Dear participants, if you have any doubt, you can ask. You can interact with our expert. Now, this is your turn. You can ask your questions. Please unmute your mic and ask the question directly.
And you can write down you keep your question now. That is also a possibility. You can keep your questions. And I have another session on 9th of this month on higher education. On that day also you can ask the question, no problem. Or either you can ask in the chat box, no problem.
Yes, you can drop a message in the chat box as a question.
Because I think there may not be much doubts because you're about to appear the NET examination. We have only 2 weeks remaining for the NET. No, not 2 weeks. I think 10 or 15 days remaining for the NET examination. I think there is no question, no, and you keep your question for the next session. I think Naufal sir, Ani sir, we can conclude.
Yeah. There are lots of messages in chat box. Thank you, sir. It was really interesting, useful. How to focus each topic? There is a question in chat box. Noushad sir.
Yeah. That's a question. How to focus each topic? I already told you that we need separate preparation for each area. So that, for example, teaching aptitude. For teaching aptitude, we need to go through the theoretical aspects of teaching methodology first. And after that, you need to answer a number of questions from teaching aptitude part. So you first at the first round you prepare separately, and later you go for sample question from all the areas. See, in the previous in the UGC website, previous question papers are available. Almost 1,500 questions are available in the previous UGC website. You go through all the question paper. I suggest you to solve all the question papers so that you can work out all types of questions and you can focus different areas. And there are different other questions. Let me see the chat box once again.
Could you go through the time management part once again, sir?
Okay. That's a good question. Time management is very important. Normally, students complain about time. No time available. No enough time available. See, we for time last NET examination onwards, the time is given cumulative for both papers. Paper 1 and paper 2 together, you will get 3 hours. But if you divide the time into 2 parts, you will get 1 hour for paper 1 and 2 hours for paper 2. But if you don't have time for paper 1, you can take few minutes from paper 2 also, no problem at all. But if you consider 1 hour, we need to prepare for 1 hour first. If you prepare for 1 hour, we need to divide the time slot for different set of questions or different components. I told you that teaching aptitude, research aptitude, communication, higher education, information communication technology, then environmental education, etc. Those 6 areas require one reading and answering the question. Normally, that requires few seconds. One careful reading of the question and answer. But for the question like comprehension, data interpretation, Then mathematical reasoning, logical reasoning. These 4 areas require some type of working out of solutions, working out for solutions, even for using rough papers. So those questions we require more time. And what I suggest is that you take 2 minutes each for answering question from reading comprehension, mathematical reasoning, logical reasoning, and data interpretation. So the total allotment will be 40 minutes for those 4 areas. And for remaining 6 areas, you spend only 20 minutes. That you will get approximately 40-45 seconds for answering the question. That will be enough. You read a question and answer it. That's all. And because there is no negative marking, you try to attend all the questions. So at the first instant itself, you answer the question. That is better, because there may not be time for coming back. Since there is no negative marking, you can answer all the questions. So even at the time of reading the question, you can answer it. That will be better. So spend 20 minutes for teaching aptitude, research aptitude, communication, higher education, ICT. One more area: teaching aptitude, higher education, communication, then higher ICT.
Environment, people and
environment. So there will be 6 areas, and the remaining 4 areas, they are actually mathematical reasoning, logical reasoning, data interpretation, reading comprehension. Those 4 areas require more time. And you try out using a sample question paper so that you will get a time management. You go with a better time management. That's my suggestion.
One more question, sir. What about using mock test app to be familiar with different types of questions?
Yeah. Because mock test is available in the NTA website itself. You go for the mock test and appear for the mock test. That will be better for appearing online examination. So try for mock test. It is available even in the NTA website, and some other agencies are also giving mock test for net examination. Then which type of books are more useful? Means grades or textbooks reading. This is normally asked by the different students. Actually, different types of guide books are available in the market, and I don't want to suggest a particular guide book, but guide book can be utilized for answering or practicing questions, because in all the guide books, the number of previous questions are available. But don't go for the answer key given in the guide book, because answer key may not be correct in the guide books. So you go for your own answers, your own working out of answers. So guide books can be utilized for working out of more number of questions. And textbook reading, of course, for different areas, textbook reading will be effective. For example, research aptitude, teaching aptitude, communication, higher education, all those areas, there are number of books, good books are available. You can go to the library and use better books on those areas. And actually, previous year question papers itself will give you a better training. See, there are more than 1,500 questions available on the UGC website. And if you work out all these questions, that will be a better training. And along with that, you use some textbooks and other materials.
Sir, please give name of any relevant site of UGC.
Relevant site of UGC. I think the student asked for the study materials. Yeah. And study material actually given by different site. I don't want to give you a particular site, because I cannot suggest one particular site. All these are private agencies, and even there are online coaching are given by different agencies. And if you're interested, you can join, no problem. But I don't want to suggest a particular agency or particular website for that.
Okay, I think let's wind up.
Yes.
YouTube chat box question.
Yeah. Yes.
Assistant professor avan PhD nirbandhamaano ennalladana oru question vanirikkunnu.
Clear alla Fasal sir onnodu uchathu parayu.
Is PhD mandatory for assistant professor?
അതും പലരും ചോദിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ചോദ്യമാണ്. Whether PhD is mandatory for assistant professor at the entry level, and as per the 2018 regulation, For colleges, there is no need of PhD. NET will be the basic qualification for entry in colleges. And it is given that from 2021 onwards, PhD will be an essential qualification at universities for getting recruitment as assistant professor. At present, PhD is not the basic qualification. At present, NET is the basic qualification for getting job at higher education institution. And in the future, there may be change. Along with NET, PhD also will be a basic qualification. That is why, along with the PhD, EBC is going to introduce a new course on teaching methodology. So all the PhD holders will going for teaching profession. That is the meaning. So at present, PhD is not required, but in the future, you can expect PhD as the basic qualification of teachers at higher education institution. But NET will continue. NET will be the essential qualification. And another question is 40% is the minimum mark in both the papers. Yes, in the new pattern, the paper 1 and paper 2 is taken together. Paper 1 and paper 2 are taken together, and the percentage will be calculated. And 40% is the minimum mark, and that is there is no guarantee for qualifying the examination with the 40% mark. And after securing the minimum mark, there will be another selection criteria that upper 6% of the students will be selected for the final preparation of result. There is private university PhD is approved. Yes, PhD of all universities are approved. PhDs from UGC recognized universities are approved. Yes, there is no separate minimum for general paper and subject paper. Aggregate will be considered. May I know the difference between percentage and percentile? Percentage and percentile are different. Nowadays, percentile is taken. See, percentage is the total. So out of 100 marks, how much percentage mark you scored? But percentile is actually your position from 1,000 students. Whether your position is 93rd position, 94th position, or 99th position. So percentile is a percentile rank, and percentage are different. Percentage is simply the total percentage of mark you scored, but percentile indicate your position in a group. Yes, over.
നൗഷാദ് സാർ, നല്ല ഹൈലി ഇൻഫോർമേറ്റീവ് ആണെന്നുള്ള ഫീഡ്ബാക്കുകൾ ഇങ്ങനെ ഓരോന്ന് വന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. നമ്മൾ ഇപ്രാവശ്യം ഓൺലൈൻ ടെസ്റ്റിലേക്ക് മാറുമ്പോഴേ, മുമ്പ് നമ്മൾ ബബിൾ ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് സമയം നമുക്ക് ചെലവായിരുന്നല്ലോ. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് ഇപ്രാവശ്യം കൂടുതൽ സമയം കിട്ടാനുള്ള ഒരു സാധ്യത ഇല്ലേ? അപ്പൊ ഓരോ ക്വസ്റ്റിനും കുറച്ചും കൂടി സമയം, മുമ്പത്തിനാളും കുറച്ചുകൂടി സമയം എടുത്ത് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്
സമയം കിട്ടാൻ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. മാത്രമല്ല, നമ്മൾ മുമ്പ് അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ 1.25 മണിക്കൂർ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു, 75 മിനിറ്റ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു ഈ ഓൺലൈൻ ടെസ്റ്റ് ആവുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് നമ്മൾ ബബിൾ ചെയ്തിരുന്ന സമയത്ത്. പക്ഷെ ഇപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ സമയം കണക്കാക്കി നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ 1 മണിക്കൂർ 2 മണിക്കൂറേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ 1 മണിക്കൂർ ക്യുമുലേറ്റീവ് ആയിട്ടാണ് കണക്കാക്കുന്നതെങ്കിൽ പോലും പേപ്പർ 1 നമുക്ക് അലോട്ട് ചെയ്യാവുന്നത് 1 മണിക്കൂറാണ്. അപ്പൊ നമുക്ക് സമയം കുറച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ബബിൾ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ 1.25 മണിക്കൂർ കിട്ടിയിരുന്നു, 1 മണിക്കൂറേ ഉള്ളൂ. അതാ ബബിൾ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സമയമാണ് കുറച്ചെന്ന് വേണം മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ.
പിന്നെ സാർ, നമ്മൾ നമ്മൾ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടറിൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് മൗസ് നീങ്ങുന്ന സമയത്ത് ചോയ്സ് മാറാനുള്ള ഒരു സാധ്യത ഇല്ലേ നമ്മൾ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ്?
അത് ശരിക്കും ശ്രദ്ധിക്കണം. നിങ്ങള് ഈ കമ്പ്യൂട്ടർ അത്യാവശ്യം പരിചയമുള്ളവർക്കൊന്നും മൗസ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ വലിയ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുണ്ടാവില്ല. എന്നാലും നിങ്ങൾ നല്ലോണം ശ്രദ്ധിക്കണം. നിങ്ങൾ പുതിയ സിസ്റ്റത്തിന് മുമ്പിൽ ചെന്നിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ, നമ്മൾ ഫെമിലിയർ അല്ലാത്തൊരു സിസ്റ്റത്തിന്റെ മുമ്പിൽ ചെന്നിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ചിലപ്പോൾ കറക്റ്റ് പൊസിഷനിൽ ആവണമെന്നില്ല. എന്നാലും നമ്മൾ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്തത് മാറ്റാനുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ ഉണ്ട്. അതേ സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ ബബിൾ ചെയ്തിരുന്ന സമയത്തായിരുന്നുവെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്തത് മാറ്റാനുള്ള ഓപ്ഷൻ ഇല്ല. നമുക്ക് ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്തതിനെ ക്ലിയർ റെസ്പോൺസ് അടിച്ച് മാറ്റി നമുക്ക് പുതിയ റെസ്പോൺസിലേക്ക് ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്യാവുന്നതാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ആ ഒരു പ്രയാസമില്ല. ഒന്ന് ക്ലിക്ക് ചെയ്ത് പോയി എന്ന് കരുതി നമുക്ക് മാറ്റാൻ ഒരു പ്രയാസമില്ല.
നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാ ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത ആളുകളും നമ്മുടെ ഒരു അസൈൻമെന്റ് എന്ന നിലയിൽ ഇന്ന് തന്നെ ഒരു മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് നന്നായിരിക്കും. കാരണം ആദ്യത്തെ ഒരു പുതിയൊരു പ്ലാറ്റ്ഫോമിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ പുതിയ രീതിയിലേക്ക് മാറുമ്പോൾ അപ്പൊ എല്ലാവരും എന്ത് ചെയ്യാം, ഇന്ന് തന്നെ ഒരു മോക്ക് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാന്നുള്ളതാണ്.
നല്ലതാണ്.
നമ്മളെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഡേ കൂടിയാണല്ലോ, സാറൊന്ന് എല്ലാവരും ഒന്ന് വിഷ് ചെയ്തേക്കും.
യെസ്. ഇന്ന് നമുക്കറിയാം, ഇന്ന് നമ്മുടെ ഡോക്ടർ എസ് രാധാകൃഷ്ണന്റെ ജന്മദിനമായ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഡേ ആണ്. ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഡേ വിഷസ് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാവർക്കും രാവിലെ തന്നെ കൊടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞു. നമുക്ക് ഒരുപാട് ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഡേ വിഷസ് കിട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഈ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഡേ നമ്മൾ പ്രത്യേകമായിട്ടുള്ളൊരു സാഹചര്യത്തിലാണ്, വലിയ കോവിഡ് പാൻഡമിക്കിന്റെ ഒരു സമയത്ത് നമ്മളെല്ലാം ടീച്ചേഴ്സൊക്കെ ഇപ്പോ ഓൺലൈൻ സോഷ്യൽ ഡിസ്റ്റൻസിങ് പാലിക്കുന്ന ടീച്ചേഴ്സാണ്. നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും പല സ്ഥലത്തിരുന്നിട്ടാണ് ഈ ക്ലാസ് കേൾക്കുന്നത്. എന്തായാലും അടുത്ത വർഷം ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഡേയില് നമുക്ക് വീണ്ടും നേരിട്ട് കണ്ടിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അവസരം ഉണ്ടാകട്ടെ എന്ന് ആഗ്രഹിക്കുകയാണ്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും എല്ലാവർക്കും എൻ്റെ ടീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഡേ ആശംസകൾ.
Okay, thank you, Noushad sir, for your wonderful session, giving a brief.
Let me stop. Let me conclude. Let me express my sincere thanks and gratitude to all my friends. Actually, our beloved principal, Dr. T. Muhammad Salim, my colleagues at Farook Training College. I think a number of colleagues are even present here. Abid, Naufal, Anis, Vijay Kumar teacher, and a number of other Sharif, all are present here. I express my sincere thanks to the organizers, the management of Farook Training College, and finally, all the students who are hearing my voice. Let me express my sincere thanks and gratitude to you once again, and I wish you all the best for the forthcoming NET examination and also for your future career. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. Thank you. As usual, it was highly informative, inspiring, and useful for all the NET aspirants. I think we are getting high feedback from chat box. So now we are going to wind up the session. Dear participants, from tomorrow itself, we will be having different sessions by expert different topics. So I think tomorrow we'll have with us Dr. Muhammad KV, Assistant Professor from MG University, on the topic Teaching Aptitude. Let me invite Irshana Shahnas Ulladen to propose official vote of thanks. Irshana.
സാർ, അതിന് മുമ്പ് സലീം സാർ എന്തോ സംസാരിക്കാനാണ്. ഇർഷാന ടീച്ചറെ.
Okay. Thank you, Dr.PP Noushad and Naufal sir, for nicely coordinating all this today's event. So one thing I have to say to my beloved students and other who are participating this program, you may please go to the chat box of both YouTube and this Google Meet. You may find the link for joining WhatsApp group. We have created different WhatsApp group to coordinate all these classes and for better communication. So if you join to this WhatsApp group, you will get up-to-date information regarding the sessions. Especially we are conducting the program under the control of OCLP, and OCLP is disseminating all the process through Google Meet, Moodle, and YouTube. So it's a coordination of these three platforms. So if you join to this WhatsApp group, you will get better understanding and better guidance and guidelines regarding the program. So that's also beneficial to Farook Training College to get your feedback, and I request you to give up-to-date feedback regarding the session, positive feedback, and even though negative feedbacks, we are always open-headed, and we are giving you all the support for the coming days program. And Farook Training College is offering different types of outreaching program under the umbrella of FTCA, Farook Training College Innovative Academia. So your feedback is very valuable, and I wish all the success for the coming days program. And once again, happy Teachers Day for all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I call upon Irshana Shahnas to propose vote of thanks.
Good morning, one and all. It's a matter of great privilege to present the formal vote of thanks for this session. We have now been witness to the inauguration and general orientation to the NET general paper. This is a part of a school of Farook Training College. The Farook Training College extends heartfelt thanks to Janab S. Muhammad Yunus, the Secretary of Farook Training College Management Committee, for having inaugurated the online net coaching program of Each One Teach One. Your words inspire us to perform to zenith in academics. Let me express a heartfelt appreciation to our dear principal, Dr. T. Muhammad Salim, a man of great educational vision and administrative potential, for having provided us with proper and timely guidelines in implementing this dream project, which you have all witnessed just now. Thank you, sir. I extend our heartfelt gratitude to the resource person of the day, our own Dr.PP Noushad sir. Though presently a faculty at MG University, his expertise is equally available to meet the needs of our students. Dear students, you may have attempted NET several times before. In appearing for this very important test. Noushad sir, once again, I extend my heartfelt thanks on behalf of the entire Farook Training College fraternity for your wonderful, comprehensive, and time-bound presentation. The instant feedbacks also is ample evidence of the effectiveness of this session. Thank you, sir. We hope our students will have more opportunities to hear from you further. Let me also take this opportunity to thank the director of this project, Mr. Naufal C., Assistant Professor, Farook Training College, for having made this dream project come true. I also extend heartfelt thanks to the OCLP team for all the smooth technical assistance being headed by Dr. Vijay Kumari, our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Manoj Praveen sir, our research coordinator, Dr. Hassan Koy sir, our staff secretary, Mohammed Sharif sir, and coordinators of the Each One Teach One project, Anis sir and Fasil sir, and also Abid sir, who has been coordinating our YouTube channel, Guru Darshan. Last but not the least, and most importantly, to all our dear participants who are students of Farook Training College and otherwise also. We wish you all the very best for your exam and hope you will utilize our resources in the coming days also. The best gift you can give us this Teachers' Day to the teachers of Farook Training College is your success in the NET exam. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Irshana. With this, we come to the end of day one. As I have already mentioned, from tomorrow itself, we will be having topic-wise discussion by expert. Hope your active participation in the journey ahead. Thank you. Now you may leave the platform.